In this video, I want to show you how to avoid beginner mistakes in Google Ads as we move forward into 2021. Now, please realize that mistakes are natural, they're a part of the learning process, and that you cannot completely prevent them, but it's nice to avoid some common pitfalls. Over my 3 years of running Google Ads, I've definitely made my fair share of mistakes. Let's see if you have made some similar ones, or if you're here to prevent just that. As a bonus, watch to the end of this video to learn how to set up a more profitable Google Smart Shopping campaign with just a simple tweak. And without further ado, let's start going into the Google Ads dashboard.
Alright, so here we are in the Google Ads dashboard. So I can just show you some settings as we go along and figure out how to avoid mistakes in creating your first campaigns. So when I started, my main mistake was I would just do some really basic campaigns, toss up some products, and I'd make some sales here and there, true, but I'd be spending way too much money and I wouldn't be getting enough return on my ad spend, and it took me quite a while to get to the point where actually, it took me about a year to get past the point where I'm breaking even on ads or losing a little bit of money, and to the point where I'm starting to get profitable just this year. So, without further ado, let's take a look at some of the mistakes to avoid. So what I did is I made some notes here. So if you like to listen, just listen. If you like to read, perhaps you can pause these and look at these notes and just whatever works for you. So Google is not like Facebook or other advertising platforms. That's the first mistake, people making that assumption that they can take their strategies from Facebook or Pinterest or whatever they're using and bring you over Google. No. So don't apply their rules to Google. So what you want to do is do groups of 4 or 5 with Google, 4 or 5 products. So take the time to research 4 or 5 products that'll sell in your niche, and then make a normal smart shopping campaign with all of these products, and then analyze the results depends on what's happening. So once you analyze the results, we're going to move forward and see what happens here. But so Google is ideal for mass testing. The more products you have, the better it works. It's just silly, but 4 or 5 is enough to start. So 4 or 5 quality products with good product pages, good reviews, everything's nailed down SEO wise, and they're just looking fantastic. Or alternately, you could of course make the one product store and just make a really good product page and then just dive deep in optimizing that. But like I said, it's not like Facebook or other advertising platforms. Don't duplicate a campaign to scale. It does not really work for Google. You scale by drilling down and getting more specific with keywords and specific targeting, among other things. So what you want to do to drill down into a specific campaign settings is just click this, then click the campaign name, and then check it and go into locations. So this one doesn't have anything aside from broad locations. But say I wanted to remove the United States, okay? I've gotten some data and I know the United States is good for me, but then I want to add in just specific parts of the United States. So say New York. And then we don't want United States. And then we also found out that, say, California is a great place for our products. We can literally just target these sections of the United States. We could even narrow it down to a city. So let's say, yeah, Chicago. I mean, you could just say, just target this freaking city. And you have this tiny little dot on the map that Google is targeting. So you can narrow it down from state or from country to state to even city to probably even a local area. You just gotta see what you can fiddle with to narrow down your targeting. So I'm gonna go out of that right now. But yeah, that's definitely, so with Google, scaling is not really, I mean, you can get to a certain budget and then you can't scale anymore and it just doesn't seem to work. You want to scale with retargeting or getting more specific. You can scale up to 4 to 5 ROAS or even better. It really depends on your product and your niche. But like I said, it does not really work for Google. So before you click off of this video, just be sure that there are ways to scale with Google. It's just not as straightforward as, say, Facebook, where you duplicate a campaign that's doing well and suddenly got another campaign that's doing well. No, don't duplicate campaigns in Google. Sorry. So another mistake people make is changing. skipped ahead here. But the second mistake people make is changing things too often. Do not change things too quickly. Adjusting the budget a lot or changing the bid strategy can reset learning and set you back for a week. Instead, do small changes, 10% budget increase, or one change at a time, remove a product, add a product, change a bid strategy. So if you're running an ad at $100 and you decide to suddenly double the budget, your sales will probably tank the next day until Google learns how to redistribute that budget and make the best return for you. And the same thing, if you remove a bunch of products, so what you want to do is do one change, wait 3 to 7 days. I usually like 7 days, but if it's not really performing, you can make a change within 3 days and it should be okay. And then the third mistake people do is spend too much money without optimizing. So by optimizing, I mean change your product selection, change pages, product pages, look at vitals and lucky orange, and see what customers are doing and what you can change to make them convert more. So examine your competitors, update your product page. If you spent $75 with no sales, that's a sign you need to optimize things, because in most cases, even with an average store, you should only have to spend $25 to get a sale on Google. Check your CPC and see that is under $1. If not, use other keywords or manually set it to that. So you can also set your keyword optimization. Like I said, just go in here. If it's over $1, start changing it down to your settings. Set a maximum bid to, say, 90 cents. And you might say, but Casey, that'll lower my traffic and I won't get all the clicks I could be getting, or I might not get some of those $5 sales. Let me put it this way. If you give Google $5 to bid, it'll take the $5 bid, even if that bid would have cost $1 and still got you the sale. So yeah, Google takes it very literal. It's like if you're bidding $5, like, all right, you bid $5 on that keyword. We're perfectly fine letting you do that, even though it would have only cost you half that to get the sale. So if you spent $50 to $75 and have no sales on that product or that group of products, take a look at your analytics in Shopify in the bottom middle part, and it'll tell you what pages are getting traffic. Look at those because people are interested, but you're not doing something right to convert them. And figuring out what that is a bit of a study session. So you're going to have to go and look at your keywords, look at the product on Google Trends, look at your competitors, and see if it's actually a product that's going to sell or if people are just window shopping. So not understanding all the tools. So I went over some of these tools earlier. I'm not going to go over them again now, but be sure you use all your options when testing. It may be tempting to let Google do all the work because it does it so well, and you can make money even with basic campaigns. But there's so many ways to optimize, so let me show you some. Target ROAS, segment, target by state, country. So I showed you earlier. Segmenting I showed you in a different video. The target ROAS, target return on ad spend. I'll go ahead and show you that real quick. So click on your campaign, click this, and go into settings. And let's see here. Bidding, change this to 250%. So that would be 2.5 ROAS, and then you'd save. And that's saying on smart shopping. You can even do this on normal shopping campaigns. So same thing. You go into an all-store campaign or whatever campaign you have. Go into settings, maximize click, change bid strategy, target ROAS, and target do 50%. And save. So as it says here, you'll need more conversions. So you might not be able to use target ROAS when you first start out. So I definitely say stay with maximize clicks until you have that data where it says, okay, it's okay. We have the data. We can get you these ROAS. Sometimes you have to spend like 5,000, which might seem like a lot right now. But once you get those sales, your customers are actually paying your ad costs for you. So you're not actually paying that 5,000. You're taking the money they give you and using it to pay for your data. Moving forward here. And campaign priority. So the low, medium, high, and campaign priority here. So let's go over this. So your campaign priority. In campaign priority, you have low, medium, and high. What this basically means is when Google says if you have multiple campaigns with one product, use campaign priority to decide which bid will be used. If they have the same priority, the campaign with the higher bid will serve. So if you have two products, or if you have the same product in a low and a high, the high campaign will always take precedence over the low. So your low won't be spending any money, and your high will be spending all the money, is basically what it's saying. So that's campaign priority. So 5. Another mistake I see people make, number 5, spending too much time researching products and not enough testing. So you want to take action. You don't want to sit on your butt too long, because all the products you researched may trend out. So they may die out, and it's important to basically take no more than 2 or 3 days of product research before you start putting all those products into your store. So once you have 5 products, you should test them on Google or one really good high ticket product page. By high ticket product, I mean you can make at least 100 profit off of it, and it costs around $30 to $50 to purchase. The thing is here, you want to get a handful of products and start testing. Don't sit on them too long, because they may phase out, trend downwards. My policy is I research products on Friday. I post one of the products that's still doing well on Monday. So I go into the AliExpress dropshipping center and I copy and paste that link there, and I see if it's still making those sales on Monday. If it's still making the good sales and uptrending on Monday, I'll put it in. If it's not, I'll research some more the next Friday. And the last thing I want to leave you with is don't get complacent. Never assume you know entirely what you are doing. There's always something to learn in terms of marketing, some tool in Google Ads. If you do not know, search out your answers. This may be the most valuable skill of all, finding your own answers on Google, on YouTube, just being able to look up what you don't know, and never assume that you know everything, because there's some new trick coming out. Some person has discovered an awesome thing and they're willing to share, and definitely make use of all your resources to find those tricks and find those skills, and you can do it for free. So don't pay for any expensive Google Ads course or mentor or anything like that until you've tried everything and it's not working for you. Then it might be time to look into one of those courses. Don't spend more than $1,000 on a course, but definitely go check Udemy, go check Facebook, and see if you can't find one of those mentors willing to teach you the skill, or even just tune into my channel. I'll go over plenty of things that I know. And as I said, we're moving to the bonus question now. So let's go ahead, and I said I'd show you how to make a more profitable smart shopping campaign. So this is my smart shopping. I go in here, hit the settings button, and then I would say, yeah, it's the same thing here. You want to set a target return on ad spend. So once you have some data, take your smart shopping and say, I want at least 300% ROA. And what this does is this says, Google, find me conversions for every dollar I put in, you give me 3 back. And Google is very smart. It actually succeeds at this quite well. And in smart shopping, it's even better, because it shows on all the things. You don't have to optimize anything. And smart shopping will do this for you once you have the data. That's the caveat. Once you have the data. And like I said, it defines it here, helps you get the highest conversion value within your budget and target return on ad spend constraints. So what this means is, even if you have $300 budget, it won't spend it all unless it can get this return on ad spend. So I've been experimenting with this over the last few days, and what it does is I have like a $300 budget and it's only spending $100, but I'm still making $200 profit. So I'm actually pretty happy, because it took my ad costs down while bringing my profits up. And that's exactly what you want in this sort of campaign. I might try lowering my return on ad spend to like 280 or 275, just to get a bit more sales and clicks and see if that'll work a bit better. But definitely play around with this, and this is the way to get your smart shopping campaign far more profitable without costing nearly as much. And I hope you got some value out of this video. If you have any sort of feedback for me, please leave it in the comments, and stay tuned for some more videos next time. Casey signing off.